Yeah, just about as groovy as a 10-cent movie. I'm your man, Calvin Gibbs, and welcome to Drama Talk Radio. Now, as you know, Drama Talk Radio is the show where the word drama, DRAMA, stands for developing real and moving art. We're so happy, pleased, and blessed to have you check out this episode of Drama Talk Radio. And hey, guess what? I have a very special guest on the line with me today. She is a person that I've known from my other life of employment, and she is a painter. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what painting means to her, how she got started. Please welcome to Drama Talk Radio, Amy Tagtmeier. Amy, welcome.
Thank you, Calvin. Thank you. Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
You're quite welcome. We're quite welcome. So let's get right into it. How long have you been painting, and what types of paintings do you do?
Let's see. So, God, how old am I now? I started probably when I was 26, 27. So it's probably been almost 11 years now.
Wow.
Just touch and go is like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It started off of boredom and watching TV. Seeing, famous Bob Ross, doing his landscapes. And I was just bored one day. And my brother happened to get me a little art set that I hadn't touched. So I just started messing around with it and kind of fell in love with it. So I started off doing landscapes. I liked it. So I grabbed a couple books on art and started doing more landscapes. Then it turned into making little pieces for family and friends. Then I started doing like some characters like Taz and Goofy, different Disney characters for other people. Then it turned into doing different abstracts, and kind of what I'm doing now is like the fluid pouring abstract art. So I've been doing that kind of ever since, and I think I'm going to kind of try to mix the two now. So the latest project that I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my fluid arts and kind of add landscape into it, which I think might be kind of cool.
So what is fluid pouring?
It's kind of, so you mix the paint with a fluid medium and then you add silicone into it, and it's kind of like life. You put everything there and you can try to control it, but the canvas and paint kind of does what it wants. So it's trying to capture it and then kind of letting things go and leaving them be, so they just kind of fall in place however they fall.
Okay.
And then you can kind of add to it after, add different paints into it too, and kind of make them flow together.
Okay. So in that type of painting, you don't really have the control over what the final product is going to be?
No.
Okay.
There's been so many times where I start and like I love it and I don't want it to change, but like life, it just does, like
okay.
The colors will start to blend together. So it'll start off one color and form into something completely different. So I kind of like that in this art, because it's kind of like letting go and, I don't even really know how to explain it. And then trying to add different parts that you want to, because there is certain manipulations that you can do with it, with like different blowing methods where you can take like a straw, kind of like the one that I made for you. I did this blowing technique where you can blow the paints to get colors from underneath to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only control that you really have in this style of painting.
Okay. So this type of painting, this style of painting, you can't use an easel for that. It has to be flat.
Yeah. So you're kind of like dragging and pouring the paint and trying to stretch it over the canvas.
Right.
And then you can always add more paint, but it's always just dragging and stretching, and then you leave it flat. And then that's when you can go in and add detail, where you can either add more paint to try to pull into it, or you can use different tools to like blow it to kind of like make like a flame or wave type techniques in it. And then you add silicone into it that will kind of get you like different cells that will look like either like circles or elongated, and then they just kind of pop up and will show the colors that are underneath the paint. So it's a really cool form.
Okay. Well, you mentioned some tools. I know you mentioned a straw. Mm-hmm. What other tools do you use besides, of course, paintbrush?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the straw, the paintbrush, the palette knife, to spread the paint a little bit more and like blend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you also do some characters, some Disney characters. Did you
Yeah,
say?
it's just more so what friends want. So I initially started giving them to friends. One I had made for one of my friend that really likes dancing. So I made this. I thought it was beautiful. A beautiful painting of vibrant colors and a lady dancing and just being full of life to kind of help inspire one of my friends to just keep doing what she's doing. She loved to dance. And she so it started off doing that, and one of my other friends had saw that and really liked Winnie the Pooh, and she happened to like Michael Jackson, so I made a Winnie the Pooh where he had the hat tilted down in a Michael Jackson pose.
Okay.
Then another one of my friends said he really liked Taz, so I made this Taz picture that was kind of abstract that had different colors kind of coming off of him. And then my husband, he likes Goofy, so I made him a Goofy painting. So it's just kind of anything that somebody wants, I try. So far I've been good. I haven't got any complaints that I did a bad one. So it's kind of whatever somebody wants, I always try to make it for them.
Okay. Now I saw all four of those that you talked about on your Facebook page in the album for painting, and I thought that they were exquisite. Uh,
Thank you.
the one with the dancer, I actually know who that was for,
Yeah.
and I think she really appreciated it. And of course, Goofy, um, Winnie the Pooh, and Taz. I really enjoyed Taz because that used to be my nickname as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, indeed. So when you're doing those characters, do you sketch it out first, or
A little bit, just a baseline, and then I never really was a great drawer, so that's why I like painting, because somehow I can make it happen with paint. I can't totally make it happen when I try to draw.
wow,
It's there's just
that's
something different about it.
wow, that's really interesting because the one of Goofy, Taz, and Winnie the Pooh, it was spot on.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
I
so I
really
just kind of do the outline and then I just look at the picture and then I just kind of build up on it.
okay. Wow, very good, very good. So we talked about uh, how long you have been doing this. Do you see it going forward? What's your plans going forward with your painting? Or
Well, so I had started doing that just for fun, and then the last couple of years I just kind of wanted to see if I can further myself and actually maybe make it as an artist and actually selling the pieces. So I had started a Macari site where I'm trying to actually sell some of the pieces that I'm doing to actually see if I can make it as an artist, I guess. I guess I'm in the lines of I'm an aspiring artist right now, trying to make it.
okay, and that's interesting because that was going to be my next question. Uh, are you selling your art at all?
Yeah. So I've sold two pieces to people that I don't know, and then the rest has been to family and friends. So altogether, out of all my paintings, I've probably sold 9.
Okay,
So to start, and that's within like the past 2-3 years.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked to some artists, some painters, and they've told me that once they have finished their creation, there's a personal bond to it with them, and it's hard to let go of it.
It is. It
So,
always seems like when you make it, especially it always seems like that whenever I make it for someone else, those are always the best ones, the ones that I hear my husband saying, "Are you sure you really want to give that one away? It's really good." And I'm like, "No, I made it for them, but it always seems like my best ones are ones that are intended for people. I mean, all my other ones are still good, but there's just something different. And I think that's the process as well. Those are always the ones that I spend the most time on.
okay. Well, it's good to share your art with others. This way, other people can enjoy it, and it enhances the world, if you will. A part of you and is now out there in the world, spreading joy. So that's one way to think about it. Um, have you thought, or have you ever been a part of a gallery exhibit?
Well, pre-COVID, I was actually going to do in my mom's hometown. They do something called Railroad Days, which is kind of like a little craft fair in her town. I was gearing up to do that, and then the COVID had hit, and so they canceled it. So that was what I was looking into. I'm looking into more craft fairs now to see what next craft fairs are coming up. I see some are coming up, but it's not for a while, probably because of, COVID and everything.
Yeah, they're more in the warmer weather here in the
Yeah.
Midwest because of the weather and all. But there's a
Hmm.
lot of art fairs that goes on, even in uh, the town of Plainfield. I know there's um, some farmers market that
Hmm.
a couple times during the season they will have an exhibit, and it's everybody's to bring their crafts from
Yeah.
pottery, paintings to you name it. So that
Yeah. So that's the next step that where I want to go is I want to do a craft fair or um I tried to maybe see. I had one friend that her brother knew someone that had a gallery, so I was trying to talk with them, but that didn't really go anywhere. So it's just
okay. Well,
trying to
that's it.
find little ins.
I would suggest that's a two-part process because
Hmm.
not only do you want to get hooked up with the craft fair, but you also want to let the local media know that you're there,
Yeah.
newspapers, so that they can come out and take some pictures and do a little write-up on you, get your name out there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Now, I looked at your site and it says Common Chaos Painting.
Yeah.
Common Chaos. How did that name come up? Common Chaos.
Well, first it was a combination of the fluid painting is that it's you're trying to make calm out of all this chaos that you really can't control. So sometimes you just have to calm it down and just
Okay.
let things be. And then the second part of that is I actually do it with my husband. So he's actually the chaos part and I'm the calm because the comparison between both of our paintings is mine is usually more common, his is more chaos with the cells, the little circles that are in it.
Okay.
That's how you can tell the difference between both of ours. His always has a lot more of those, and mine is like few and far between.
Okay.
So his paintings are the chaos ones, and mine are the calm. So we decided to call it Calm and Chaos.
Oh,
So because
okay.
we'll do it
So,
together. It kind of we started it. It all started doing it together during the whole COVID thing as something that we could do together. Since we couldn't really go out too much, and we just put on some music and start painting together. So it kind of
well,
has brought us together as well.
wow, I like that moniker, Calm and Chaos.
Yeah.
That's cool because when calm meets chaos, it's a beautiful thing. It's
Yep.
it's
Something
like a
beautiful happens.
yeah, something a beautiful medium there. That's
Hmm.
fantastic. So besides the painting, I know that you have also uh, dabbed a little bit in escape room creation.
Yes,
Now, escape
that is
rooms
where my
have
other
been,
passion is at.
yeah, they've been around for a while, and I know some out here. There's one in Schaumburg, I believe, is very hard to get out of. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about how you got started with the escape room creations.
Well, it started with I had went to one and I loved it so much. And I was like, I'd love to do this because it's another creative outlet for me. I love creating things. It's a little storyline that you can kind of create too, as well as I can add the art to it too by making different things for the room. I had done one for our work. We did the customer appreciation week, and so I made a logistics themed escape room for everybody to do. So I put a lot of work into that, and I loved it, and I think I succeeded really well. Everybody enjoyed it. And yeah, if I could, I think I would love to open up my own. And I've actually been even looking into that as well. Maybe even getting like an RV and retrofitting it, especially for the COVID time, to where I could just go places that way. Sanitize it after each one. People can be in a group with just their close friends. So I think that would be a good thing, especially because people need something to do right now. There's not too much. So, uh,
True, true. Have you ever thought about maybe renting a room in a hotel? Not a room, but like a conference room type size room, and maybe getting the okay to um, create in there.
yeah, I've thought about. I looked more towards the mobile one because there's a lot less liability and there's more restrictions if I actually do it in a building. You have to make sure that they'll let you retrofit the room that you want it, different types of insurance. So to start up, I think I would probably do the mobile one. And then if I did well at that, then expand and go into my own location.
Okay. Now you said I remember the one that you did at my former job. And how was that received?
Everybody loved it. After we got done, everybody was asking, are you going to do one for Christmas now? And it took me quite a while. I want to say it probably took me about 3 months to get everything created and set up and troubleshooting it. I had some friends come over and test it before we did work. I did paintings for that as well. So I kind of incorporated my art into it as well. I made boxes and then I did the fluid pour on top of the boxes. And then had a couple artwork pieces as part of the clues. So
okay, so that was based on logistics. What other themes would you have in mind?
Probably my favorite theme. I'm so into like the magical theme. So my side story, the one that I've actually kind of wrote, is basically on magic. Basically, restoring magic. You get pulled back into a magical world and you have to help them bring back magic. So you'd first be in like a kind of like a what would you call it? Like a cave type thing with like arching trees going in through the cave. I think would basically just be like a magic themed room where you would have to use these different clues to kind of restore magic, and it would be kind of like a mix of like medieval type magic. So like the first room that you would be in is like a cave type room, and then you have to find the different puzzle pieces and different keys to take you into the second room, which would more so be like a forest type room with like arching trees going through like the top. And then I kind of wanted to do some cool holograms where I looked into different things where you can take like triangles and make like a hologram kind of like pop up. So I wanted to kind of put those in like the corners of the room. So like at the end, that's like the finale part, is like black lights kind of come on these trees that look dead. The paintings on them, the black light makes it look like they're alive at the end.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Now I know you have a young son, like 4 years old. How about something for the kids?
Yeah, I do the escape rooms with him like all the time here in our house, because after I did the escape rooms, he found my boxes that I had done for it, and he's like, what are these? And I kind of told him what it is, and he's like, let's do one. So I take all his characters, and usually it's a storyline like the bad guy stole the characters, you got to set them free. And I do little puzzles for his age group where he's got to count different numbers and then put them in a code. I have like paintings next to it so he knows which color number has to go where, and he goes, I got to help him with the padlocks, but he has to tell me which one it is, and he loves it. Like that's one of his favorite things to do. So I think that would be a cool thing to do as well, to set up for kids.
Something like that would be able to travel to different school districts across not only the state but across the country. And, when that happens, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought that the RV type one would be cool, because I could take it to different businesses where they don't have to, bus people or other people have to travel. I could come right to them.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, Amy, if someone wanted to reach you to find out more about your paintings, or maybe commission you to do a painting or an escape room, how could they reach you?
They can reach me for the paintings. You can actually see the artwork that I have finished and totally varnished on Macari. You can just search Calm and Chaos or Calm and Chaos Paints, and you can find me there. Or else they could personally email me. I have a separate email, so they could use the amy-victoria1@hotmail.com if they wanted to talk about escape rooms or commissioning a painting.
Okay, and to specify, Calm and Chaos is spelled CALM, and is it AND?
Mm-hmm.
CHAOS. Paintings.
Paints.
Paints. Calm and Chaos Paints.
Yep.
Got it. Got it. I'm sure our listeners will be reaching out to you. And Amy, I want to thank you so much for being a part of Drama Talk Radio. We've had a very interesting conversation. I do wish you nothing but the best as you go
Thank
forth
you.
with your projects. And yeah, I look forward to seeing more paintings from you. And definitely when that next escape room is created, I will stop by and check it out. I don't really like being in enclosed environments too much, but for the sake of investigation and creativity, I'll give it a shot.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, that's about all, y'all, for this segment of Drama Talk Radio. I'm your host, Calvin Gibbs. I want to again thank my so very special guest, Amy Tagtmeier. Amy, thank you.
Thank you.
And it's always important that we take 2 steps to the rear and get on out of here until the next episode. Exit stage left.